Welcome on today's show. We are diving into a crucial, often overlooked topic, student support and well-being. Imagine being in a bustling school environment where academic pressures and mental stress can feel like an uphill battle. Many students silently struggle, unsure of how to navigate their mental health challenges. But today, we are shedding a light on this important issue. We are exploring innovations, initiatives, and programs designed to bolster student mental health and overall well-being. Stay with us as we uncover strategies to help students not just to survive, but truly thrive. To get into this topic and know or talk more about it, we have two very special guests with us. Please welcome Dr. Madhavi as the principal of Poorna Vikasa Vidyalaya and K. Shailaja, a managing trustee and founder of the South School, JP Nagar. Welcome, ma'am. How are you? How are you feeling, ma'am? How are you feeling, ma'am?
Great.
So, ma'am, can you just give us a brief introduction about the mental and the academic stress that students are facing these days?
Okay. Basically, students have of late, the 21st century skills are something that we are looking at, and the students have a lot to learn compared to what we as students learned.
Right.
So the world has grown much bigger in terms of science, technology, or say anything.
Right.
It is widespread.
Right.
So it's an open platform for children and a lot of exposure that's being given, which actually is making them confused rather,
Right, ma'am.
and which actually also is making them more obsessed with virtual world.
Right.
So which is also causing a lot of confusion there. And to strike a balance, there is a lot that schools and heads, as principals, we have to take a lot of things under consideration and a lot of measures in order to build that concrete way of teaching them so that they emerge out successfully without any such interferences or say deviations. And yes, a lot of challenges, mental health challenges that you're talking about is firstly the peer pressure, I can say.
Right.
Secondly, a lot of pressure from the parents, especially in the world of competition, where they have to strive out and emerge out successful in everything that they participate. And thirdly, the pressure from the school, that
Right.
they have to, keep up the school's image and they will have to perform. And a lot of things which actually are very personal also sometimes. They have their own understanding of certain things which they feel their, brothers or siblings might have.
Right.
So these are all the kinds of pressures that we see, and the global world has given them so much to feel intimidated about. So that which also I think
Right.
is causing a lot of mental stress and pressure on the children. So to combat all these things, there's a lot that we as teachers will have to do at
Right, ma'am.
school levels.
To add on to that,
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to say that it is always mark oriented.
Definitely.
That has added a lot of stress on the children.
Right, ma'am.
Yes.
And then comparisons.
We live in the world of quantity rather than
Yeah.
quality.
Definitely.
Yes.
Completely agreeing to that.
Yes.
So, ma'am, Madhavi, ma'am,
Yes.
what type of counseling services are most effective in supporting student mental health?
Okay. So when it comes to the counseling services, we can have hierarchical rather, I can say, or not a hierarchical, I can say chronological, wherein first way of handling the situation is to create a safe environment for the child, wherein the child should feel comfortable to come and express and communicate about what they are going through.
Definitely, ma'am.
So the very first confidant, as much as I understand, should be the mother at home. So if the mother is well aware of what the child is going through, the problem is resolved then and there. It's over. It doesn't, build
They
up.
don't speak up much.
Exactly. It doesn't build up or
Yeah.
it doesn't go beyond. But if that isn't nipped at the bud over there, that is when it goes becoming bigger. And they will have to find some confidant, at least at school. Say a teacher, a friend, someone with whom they can speak openly and express what they're going through. And even at that level, sometimes if the teachers understand and the teacher has that compassion and knows how to handle the situation, they will definitely ensure that they counsel them.
Right.
And if even the teacher is unable to resolve this issue, then the expert advice is something I would always ask everybody to go ahead with.
Definitely.
So there has to be a counselor stationed very much inside the school premise so that we direct these children to them, and we give them first hand kind of understanding as to who is the right person that they can go to when they feel something that they are unable to express.
Right, ma'am.
So yeah, that's.
So,
And more than that, I also feel it can be again done in different ways, wherein there is a way of handling things like group counseling sessions can be organized, wherein the counselor can come and once in a while speak to the children with regard to their fears or any kind of other issues that they are pressurized, or which is causing them anxiety, which is causing them fearful. All these, their stress, all these things actually can be spoken about openly. And there could be also individual sessions where these children actually can have one-to-one speaking, and so that they understand and get to know the root cause of the issue and it can be resolved.
Yes, ma'am. Right. So, ma'am, as a principal, ma'am, do you train your educators to, identify if a children is going through some stresses?
Yes, we do. We do train them. We do have sessions by the experts coming into school and giving our teachers a little bit of inputs as to what are the trigger points and what are the symptoms that they will have to observe with the children, so that they identify those kind of children and bring it to the notice of the concerned, and then it can be taken forward.
Right. So, ma'am, if a child would not want to speak about it,
Yes.
and a teacher or educator would have to find. So, what are the ways they can find about it?
The clinical way, the best way is the clinical way.
Right.
Yes.
So, Shailaja, ma'am, how do academic support services impact on student retinol and success rates?
See, one thing what I have noticed is the pressure is always on the children.
Right,
It's
ma'am.
because everything is evaluated based on marks. Okay, well balanced curriculum. The students can be given an option,
Yes.
like co-curricular and curricular activities. Then the more of stress can be relieved from the students.
Right.
So that is going to really bring down a lot.
Right,
Because as it is, the peer pressure is too much. The parents are also putting a lot of pressure. So anytime, whenever there is a parents meeting, there is an attendance and the rest of the programs, we would like parents also to be participating in all these activities, like counseling sessions and then awareness programs among peer group as well as to the parents. So we continuously talk to them, and then we'll also know their background.
Right, ma'am.
Yeah, that's how we are approaching.
So, ma'am, as you said that students face pressure from home as well.
Yes.
So, how do you communicate with the parents, or how do you counsel the parents as well to look after their child if they're facing something?
Normally, we would understand each and every, we have personal rapport with each and everyone. We give personal attention, and our teachers are also sensitized with all these issues. And then we try to identify, and then whenever we notice any changes in the behavior or during the exam time, normally you observe most of the time during the exam time, this is what we keep noticing.
Right.
At that time, we call one-on-one, and then we personally talk to them, and we try to understand.
That's amazing, ma'am.
We call them up, and then immediately we fix up an appointment, and we call them, and then we talk to them, and that is how we are going to take it
Yeah, to
forward.
add on, I could say that when there is a keen observation required for the teachers to be vigilant enough in the classroom to see any different kind of a behavior from the regular students that they have been watching on an everyday basis.
Correct.
That is when it is easy for us to first of all identify to the levels wherein the children must be going through something, And after having a conversation with the student, and if there is something that they have to bring it to the notice of the parents, then one-on-one call with the parent and the teacher is the best
Definitely,
way of
ma'am.
yeah.
So, ma'am, can you tell me what are the challenges in providing comprehensive mental health programs on campus?
Okay. So it requires a lot of holistic approach, I would say. Uh, I'm stressing on holistic approach because now take a plant. We cannot grow a plant just by using sunlight.
Definitely, ma'am.
We cannot just give it soil and say you grow. We cannot just give it water and say you grow. We have to give everything at a time.
Definitely.
Right? So these attributes that we provide as the school, be it emotional support, be it physical health support, be it mental health support, be it any emotional, and also say the what do you call majorly we talk about practical resources support, and at the same time there has to be a free way of feedback.
Right.
The feedback makes all the difference.
Definitely.
Especially with the levels of children in the campus,
Completely.
because especially the older ones don't want to come and open up. They have their own dignity that will hold them back from speaking anything that they have to personally clinging to on. And to evade this, if you have some kind of surveys, given a questionnaire given.
Right.
So, do a survey and also check-ins once in a while as to what's happening. Are you okay? And once in a while, just give a friendly way of talk. All these things may elucidate, arrive at some kind of a idea that this child is crying for help.
Definitely.
And then we are there.
Ma'am, there are so many activities that has come up
Yes.
to identify that your student or your children is going through some stresses.
Yes.
So, ma'am, do you have any kind of those activities including in your school or anything like that?
We do. We do have a lot of such activities. So when it is, especially when it is physical activities, I'm talking about. So what happens is in a school, there is a lot of academic way of looking at things. So we give them academic support majorly. So other than that, how else do I know if a child is doing well or if a child can do well in other platforms as well? So that is when we come across these extracurricular activities.
Right.
We give them the platform which is widespread, like right from these sports to the science experiments and swim classes, be it badminton, be it art and craft, be it art performing arts, be it theatrics. So there is a large variety of things that children might be inclined to, learn and perform, and we give them that kind of platform. So these activities and these kind of, as it is, we know while they are not performing academics, we know that there might be some kind of a pressure. There could be some kind of an anxiety. There could be some kind of a stress related. And sometimes these activities, while they are performing, say for example, you take the art.
Right.
If the child is drawing a particular kind of picture repeatedly,
Right.
even that could be a signal for us to
Definitely.
understand. But there could be something why the child is, doing this kind of an activity, right? I still remember in one of the schools that I was working, there was this second standard child who actually was, very good at art. He was drawing a picture very significantly understandable by anybody who takes a look at it, but at once. At one go, you know what is the problem. So, there is this child and the parents looking the other side.
Oh, right.
That is so evident,
Right.
There's a huge cry from the child very quietly, silently through the diagram, through the picture. So these kind of activities when you give them, you can identify.
Right, ma'am.
There is a possibility and there is quite a lot of things that also, you give them to sing, you give them to dance, you give them to play, each of which will be an expression in which they can, literally tell you as to what they are going through.
Right, ma'am. So, ma'am, can you tell me how do financial aid services contribute to the overall well-being of students?
Okay. Majorly the scholarships, I would say. Scholarships will help them a lot. If a child is good in anything, try to bring in some kind of sponsor, also could work. And at the same time, give them the understanding of budgeting, give them the understanding of making small amounts of berths or plan for some kind of pocket money, and also give the financial literacy is something that we must give the feel of or hang off to the children, wherein they understand what is their situation and how they can combat and how they can plan their activities or their life accordingly.
Right.
So, and we actually have a very nice activity or the scheme, I can say, that in our school, we tell the children to collect any kind of bills. When parents go for shopping or even your electricity bill, your water bill, we ask them to do a collection of this bills for 1 month, the first of every month. And we ask them to ensure that how they can reduce those bills.
Oh, that's really nice.
So if there is an electricity bill, if I'm talking
Right.
about, how can you conserve electricity and put your bill down for the
Right.
next month? So you give them tips as to see, there is a way. As soon as you use the washroom, switch out the light and the geyser, which is there inside the washroom. And as soon as you're going into your room, while coming out, ensure you switch off the fans, AC and the lights or the TV as well. So every time you do this, and we are not just teaching them how to conserve electricity, we are also teaching them how to financially look at the levels of understanding as to how you can cut down on unnecessary expenditure. That which itself is a big savings for them.
Definitely.
And they can always have a understanding between the parents and them saying that if I reduce your bill, amount of it will come to me as a purse or as a pocket money,
Yeah.
They can earn it, in fact. Yeah, the small, which can be, of course, adult monitored.
Definitely.
Nothing goes without.
As I was saying, what role do peer support networks play in improving student mental health?
See, one thing is, as I said, the curricular and co-curricular activities have to be well balanced from the school side. And all our curriculum should be in such a way that it should be framed, and the teacher training also should be supporting teamwork, and then wherein problem solving.
Definitely.
These kind of activities are going to really help them to cope up mentally
So
and support each other and share with each other and be successful in their
like pairing and sharing
pairing
also
and sharing
could be.
is very, very important.
Yeah, and seniors to juniors.
Right, ma'am.
Let the seniors help out the juniors with the understanding of certain things and teaching them or helping them out with certain things which they feel
Right.
complicated. Yeah. Complementary, I guess.
And teachers should be sensitized about all
Right,
these
ma'am.
things. That is the most important thing.
Right.
So every now and then, whenever there is a meeting, we have to take the cases into consideration.
Right.
And we should speak about actuals, what is happening. When we are talking about real life incident, then I think all the others will be sensitized, and then we can take it.
Right, ma'am. Right. So, ma'am, can you tell me how can institutions better integrate physical health services with mental programs?
It's very important to know the background of the students first of all.
Right, ma'am.
Okay. Sometimes they are coming from a joint family, they are coming from a single parenting
Right.
family,
Right.
and they are also living with relatives. That's
Right.
very important.
Definitely.
And effective communication, unconditional love from the teacher is also very, very important.
Right, ma'am.
So to build up the rapport, we need to talk to the students and then have a close monitoring and supervising, and then informal talking is the one which is going to be very effective on the children.
Right, ma'am.
So that's how children can also build up relationships and then open up, and we can also understand and try to help them.
Right, ma'am. So, Madhvi, ma'am, can you tell me what's your view on recent incident where students have taken extreme steps due to mental stress?
First of all, I would like to address this issue with I am disheartened, I must say, because mental stress among children should not lead them to take any drastic steps. We shouldn't let it go until that point. It should be resolved even if before it crosses a limit, and we do not know where is the limit, frankly speaking. But yeah, to begin with, at least, they must always be assured that we are there. There is somebody, there is a person whom they can look up to, a person whom they can speak up to, a person there is, who is going to understand them at their levels. So empathy plays a very important role when it comes to stopping any drastic kind of steps. Try to go and see from their point of view as to what it is. It may be a very simple thing for you from your point of view, For you to not be matching up to some friend of yours is something very silly for you as an adult. But for the child, it is the world.
Right.
They create their world around their friends. And if something doesn't go well with their friends, they feel distressed, they feel disturbed, they go into the depth of even depression at times if my friends stop talking to me, that becomes a big negation. And so we need to empathize with these children and try to find out what exactly was the reason why it happened and try to give them understanding that these things are very much trivial issues, and these can be always you look at in a way in which you can see. You must first teach them that every problem has a solution.
Right.
And but if you really frantically search for, you can find God also, is what they say. But we need to teach these children the resilience.
Right.
The resilience, like how many ever times you fall, you must know how to get up back.
Definitely.
And positive reinforcement will always work with the children.
Definitely.
What are the strengths?
Yes.
We need to help them out to identify the strengths of the children.
Right.
So
And
they will be more positive in their approach.
Definitely.
And then they can
fostering growth perspective, like telling them that everything, like failure is not the end of all. It's not the end of the world. It's just a stepping stone,
Right.
for you to go ahead to gain success.
Right.
So success doesn't mean that only after going to certain levels that you find, there is success. Success is even in the smallest things in a day that you can make change of and feel good about. Yesterday you were unable to write a particular sentence all by yourself, was a failure. Next day you attempt it and you are doing it.
Right.
That's a success.
Right.
So success should have an understanding or a definition where children must feel it is easy, we can do it. When you give them that kind of growth perspective, I think they won't think beyond that and they won't go to that extent.
Right.
So tell them they should always thrive in life. Nurture them in such a way that they know there is always a positive side to everything.
Right.
We should help them out to identify their strengths.
Exactly.
They need not be very good in academics, but they will maybe good in dancing or maybe in extracurricular various activities.
Exactly.
Maybe she can be a great artist, right, in various fields. So that's what we need to identify and tell them that these are your strengths, you can work on it, and these are your options. So the child will be able to focus himself and then think about, how, to move forward.
Definitely.
That this is not the only way. There are many ways you can choose and then you can
In fact, for this, I feel parents must be counseled better for it.
Right.
So, because parents should be told that intelligence doesn't come with a tag saying that only if you fare well in academics, it's intelligence. Intelligence is of varieties. Multiple intelligence, we call it.
Right.
You see, if the child can excel in being a good dancer, that is intelligent. Not everybody
So,
can
how
dance.
do you convince the parents? Like ma'am said, if that person is good in curriculars.
Yes.
So if a child is good in singing,
Yes.
is good at singing, how would you convince their parents?
Yes. So we believe in conducting workshop by inviting the best experts with regard to the field of education or with regard to the field of any such field for that matter. And especially parent counseling, wherein we try to convey the matter to the parents in such a way, very subtly, saying that your child cannot do the best in everything. But if the child is able to do, you are gifted parents because the child is gifted. You are blessed parents, I must say. So if that happens. But do not discriminate the child just because they are unable to attempt and do well in one particular aspect.
Right.
There are multiple platforms in which they can maybe excel, go beyond their limits.
Right.
So give them wings to fly.
See, what we do is we create an opportunity. We have various activities in our school where the children are showcasing.
Yes.
Every child will go up on the stage.
Yes.
And the parents themselves, they can identify what are the talents in the child.
Correct.
So naturally they can encourage the child, and then there should not be, by the time they come to high school, they should be confident about it. And then that is how we should take it forward, and then we should communicate with the parents how to identify the skills and talents in the children, so that they can pursue and then they can carry it on.
Right, ma'am. So, ma'am, with that, we come to this end of this episode. And at last, I would like you both to give one piece of advice to all our viewers and people who aspires you, guys. So please just give mental stress advice to all the viewers and parents who are watching.
According to me, building up relationship is the most important thing. See, everybody has got in this era, everybody has got an electronic gadget in their hand. We don't connect to the people who are sitting next to each other, but we try to connect with somebody else. So kindly, wherever you go, try and then build up relationships. Whether it is in the classroom or in the family or outside. That's one piece of advice I would like to give.
Well said, ma'am. To add on to this, I would like to say that I believe in striking balance. So when you know you are good at something, that cannot only be your focus. Just try to see that there are other sides of coin as well. Try to find out the other part of it, of your life as well. So try to strike a balance. It's very important that we make children understand that they can do very well. The potential is immense. But just because they are unable to strike that balance, they are unable to perform sometimes in academics or sometimes in their what they want to pursue. Right? So in both the things, if they really want to do, they have to find out the ways, like, be it time management, using presence of mind, be it, trying to schedule their play and study. So they will have to strike the balance. And in which I feel parents must always support their children, providing them good nutritious food, providing them best of the education system, and also providing them the various knowledge quotients or knowledge treasures like libraries. Especially I would recommend, like, parents must take them once in a while to the British Library or say National Library. These are the places where children have never been to. Take them to the museum, take them to the planetarium. So these are the places where children can amass knowledge, and these are something that have become outdated or rather obsolete to this generation, because whenever there is field trip, they either want to go to resorts or they just want to go and happily play in some kind of a arena. So instead, if we can engage them into going into some kind of tours which they will enjoy, that calm, peaceful way of understanding and learning. So I think striking balance makes it all, makes the difference. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Madhvi ma'am and Shailaja ma'am. It was amazing to have you guys here and share your thoughts and experience. It was amazing to have you guys here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us today. And with that, we come to the end of this episode. For more such chat shows and interviews, please log on to our website www.theenn.com. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe the video. Thanks for tuning in. This is Renuka and we'll see you next time.